You are married? Then how does your marriage affect your taxation in Germany? Today, I want to talk with you about this topic, so welcome back to another video here on GTax. My name is Roland Elias. I'm a German tax advisor, and yes, there are some specialties you have to know if you are married. For example, the first important question is what changes when you get married? This is the most important thing. For example, you come here to Germany, you're married already, or you marry here in Germany. What is the difference? Married couples can choose to file taxes jointly or separately. That means even if you are married, you don't have to do your tax return together. You can do it, but you don't have to. This might be interesting because in some cases it's cheaper to do it together than to do it alone. But before we come to this topic, then some more information in front. For example, you may become eligible for income splitting, and this is a very important thing because this means you have double income. Then your income gets summed up together, and in the end then they split it and look, okay, where are you in the so-called splitting table? And this means that you pay in most cases less taxes. But for who is this very important? Most important is this is for people who have both incomes or who has just one income, because then the deduction is bigger. For example, what changes already also is you and your spouse can change to tax class 3 to 5 or 4. This is an important thing because standardized you're in the tax class 4. That means everyone is in the 4. But most importantly, it's more cheap taxable on tax point. It's cheaper for you to switch classes because, for example, the one who has a higher income gets deducted less in the tax class 3, and the other one who has the lower income gets taxed a little bit higher in the tax class 5. But this is very important. This is not a tax reduction. It's just a liquidity thing. That means within the year you have a lower income tax, but in the end you pay already the same. But in one thing, it's very important. If you're getting a child, for example, then it's most importantly better to switch it over to the one who earns less or the one who's taking care of the children. Then they get, for example, tax benefits from the state with a higher grade. That's very important. But on this we will do another video. Filing jointly may reduce the overall tax burden. This is a very important thing. And you need to update your martial status with the Finanzamt. In normal cases, this will already also made by the office, by the state office. If you get married, then they already get the information. For example, important it's also to understand the tax classes in Germany. 3-5 are for couples with unequal incomes. One earns much more than the other one. 3 is for the higher income, 5 is for the lower income. Tax classes 4 are for couples who have a similar income. Tax classes 4 with factor avoids back payments. It reflects, this means that it's more specialized in the taxes you have to pay. So the next thing is you can change your tax class once a year only, but there are some specialties. For example, if there are major life changes like divorce, death, or something like this, then you can change it more often. This is very important also because incorrect class choice may lead to a higher tax payback or missed refunds, because in this case it's like this, that they try to have the most specialized and calculated. For example, tax you have to pay on the year, and in the best case you get a refund. You don't have to pay any taxes in the end. This is the most best cases. But there are some information about the income splitting, how it works in the detail. For example, combines both spouses' incomes and splits it half for a tax calculation. This is, as I told you before, often lower tax burden if one spouse earns significantly more. That means one is a higher income, one is a lower income. Then it gets, for example, pushed together and then deducted by divided by 2, and then you have to you get a lower tax burden. Next thing is the benefit is greater when the income levels are unbalanced. If you're on the same level, then it might not have an effect at the end. The big thing is what's better to joint filing, a joint filing or a separate filing. This is a very special question, because in this case, mostly it's the joint filing. Because in this case, you have a lower tax overall. But in some cases, for example, in separate filing might be interesting if you have foreign income, because this is like a shadow calculation which is made by the tax office, which says, okay, you have these foreign incomes and this gets taxed higher, then it might be better to join two tax things divided. The most important thing is that you at the beginning of the marriage, you for example, get to consult a tax advisor or something like this to know which is the best combination for you, and then check back with your finances, because for most couples it's a good thing to have more money within the year. Some others say, hey, I want to pay as much taxes within the year and get at the end a bigger refund. That depends on you. You can say it as you like it. That's the easy question. So you have any more questions, then keep it up in the comments below. I wish you a very good day.